Hey there, movie fans. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Steven, and thank you so much for tuning in. I posted last week my reaction to some of the images that Henry Cavill put online for the reboot of the Highlander movie. Now, Highlander is one of my favorite movies growing up, and so I'm really looking forward to it. I know Henry Cavill he usually fights for the source material like he tried to do on The Witcher. You got Dave Bautista as the Kurgan. You got Russell Crowe in there as Ramirez. So you got a good cast. You got the guys who created the John Wick franchise behind there or produced it. So they said they want to bring what they did for gunfights to sword fights. So right now, take my money. I'm ready to go. If anybody's unfamiliar with the Highlander movie franchise, it's basically a tale of immortals, and we come into contact with our main guy, Connor McLeod, played by Christopher Lambert, who discovers he is immortal. Um, he gets tutored by Ramirez, who is played by the legendary Sean Connery, in forms of combat, sword fighting, and in order to prepare for the upcoming battles with other immortals, but most specifically, the big baddie of the film, the Kurgan, played by Clancy Brown. Now, what made this movie work was, first of all, the immortals. They didn't give you all the answers. You just said they always were. And you round, because you're talking about a movie about immortals. So you already, suspension of belief has to be left at the door when walking into a movie like this. So that they just let it out and give this its own lore, its mystique, a mystery. I think that was a great way of handling it. They just probably didn't have the right answers for it, but that was a great way of doing it. You had it's just is, and that was okay, and I loved it. Clancy Brown as the villain. Like I said in other reviews, you can't root for the hero if your villain is boring. And Clancy Brown brought an intensity and over the top, this utter chaos to this character. He was intimidating, crazy, wild, and you were going, how is Connor McLeod going to beat this guy? He's bigger, stronger, crazier. What is he going to do? Sean Connery as Ramirez as McLeod's tutor. He brought a gravitas to that role, and only one guy could do that at that time, and that was Sean Connery. So it was just all the right people for the right film at the right time, and they were having a blast with these characters. And of course, you cannot not mention the amazing music of this movie. The soundtrack was made by Queen. You know, Who Wants to Live Forever, Princess of the Universe, Give Me the Prize. Phenomenal songs, great soundtrack. Um, I urge you to listen to it. You will not be disappointed, especially if you're a Queen fan. This is just up there. You know, I don't think there was anybody better. You had these guys, four guys who are out of this world. Who better than to do something about a movie that's something about out of this world than Queen? It just made sense. All the pieces fit for me, anyways. What went wrong with the franchise? Why it died so quickly? Well, not so quickly, but it died. It went out with a whimper. It happened already with the second film because the first film ends up with Connor McLeod killing the Kurgan, who played by Clancy Brown. He beheads him. He wins the prize, and the prize was mortality. So he gets to spend the rest of his days, his mortal days, with his new love of his life. He doesn't have to sit there and watch her die. He's gonna go grow old with her, and that was the beauty of it. So the film end, everything was wrapped up in a nice little bow, and you had everything there. The film was a modest success, not even a success. It lost money theatrically. I made about $13 million on a $19 million budget, but video rentals were big, and the company saw that there was a high demand, and they said, "There is an audience. What are we going to do? We want to make more money off this thing. Let's make a sequel." And this is where it stumbled already with the sequel. So Highlander 2, The Quickening, came out in 1991, and basically the big thing where everybody went nuts was we found out that the immortals are from a planet called Zeiss. They're in fact aliens. It's an alien race, and I think it it just lost momentum right there. You that mystique, that unexplainable lore was just taken away. And of course, you can bring back the dead. They brought back Sean Connery. Although he was beheaded in the first one, they brought him back. McLeod, who was mortal in the last one, at the end is now immortal again. They fixed it with the Renegade edition, which came, I think, like 5 years later. But that was 5 years too late. The damage had been done. The other movies, the quality was mixed. The TV series was good. So I'm going to have to say Endgame kind of brought things a little bit back to normal. Kind of a passing of the torch of Christopher Lambert character to Adrian Paul, who played his cousin, um, another McLeod from the clan McLeod, because the series was pretty good. So, like I said, it was a passing of the torch. A continuity had been established, and they were going to run with it. But of course, I believe the source, which was the last one, was really bad. From what I remember, I did not like it at all. So the quality wasn't there. The continuity was lost. It just never found its footing again after the second film. And that's unfortunate. It's a great franchise. There's a lot of potential. So I'm hoping with Cavill, Batista, and everybody else involved, they're going to get this right, and we're going to get the franchise that we wanted. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm hoping that they do a good job and we get a franchise out of this. Is it going to be the biggest in the world? No. Because if you look at the first one, like I said, it made like $13 million. It's a cult classic. It's going to be like Blade Runner 2049. Everybody thought it's going to make $1 billion because Harrison Ford is back. The movie wasn't a blockbuster. Neither was this one. I do not have these unrealistic expectations that this is going to be $1 billion franchise. But I'm hoping it makes enough money they can continue making it and it becomes bigger and it grows. But again, like I said, the first one made $13 million and it's a cult following. So how far can it go? Who knows? Hopefully, with those names attached to the project, it does grow and becomes what it should be. Because I think this has tons of potential to be a thoroughly entertaining franchise that can go in many, many years. If they would do like one film is in Scotland in the 1600s and move all the way to New York, present day, by the third or fourth film, that would be pretty cool. I'm pretty sure they're going to jump back and forth like the first one. But if they do it with all the films, that gets kind of tiring. I would like to be each film is a certain era of his life, and that'd be cool for me. But that's how I feel. I mean, that's where I think it went wrong. The lore, the continuity was never kept up, and that's what killed this franchise. I'm hoping that this time they get it right. I'm sure Cavill's a sucker for source material. He'll keep the train on track, hopefully. But that's me. You let me know what you think. Do you know about Highlander? Do you like Highlander? Do you think it's going to be a big hit? You like Cavill as the McLeod now? Russell Crowe's Ramirez? I think there's good choices so far in this film. You let me know what you think. Tell me where you think this series went wrong or the franchise went wrong. I'd love to hear from you. And this is Steven from the Roundtable of where I thought the Highlander franchise went wrong. And I'll be seeing you in the future.